Crypto channel, and yep, doing an impromptu live weekly recap and upcoming week preview. Just to be completely honest, I don't have enough time to do the editing today. Son's got football, and my daughter's got band, and we just got all sorts of stuff going on today. So there's not enough time to edit, but there's enough time to do the video and cover a few things because there's a lot to cover. So let's definitely get into it. Let me make sure that I'm live. I think so. That looks good. All right, let's go. All right, so let's make sure I get all this done. Okay, I think we're good. All right, guys. So let's get into it. I think the big event is pretty obvious. It's coming up just a few days away. Let's look at the ultrasound money dashboard. But it looks like the merge will be starting what, 4 days, 6 hours, and 4 minutes. So getting pretty darn close. Yeah, so how are we going to play this? And that's basically the big piece of the video today is how we're going to play this, because this is going to affect all of crypto in many different ways. So there's so many different ways to play this. So I'm going to basically just tell you what I'm doing, how I'm going to kind of walk through this, and this might be the biggest event in the history of crypto. So you got to do something big here, I think. But we'll see how it goes. So 4 days away, 6 hours. So if we want to be exact, that would be 6 p.m. Central Time on, I guess, 4 days from Saturday. So 3 days: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So yeah, so we're getting pretty close. I guess it would be 6 p.m. Wednesday, I think I want to say. That's pretty interesting. But so how am I going to play this? Well, let's talk about that. All right, so I have a pretty big position open with Ethereum. And as far as my swing trades and that sort of thing, that's all I have right now. And what I'm going to do, what I'm doing is pretty simple on BigGet. And if you guys, I will have my affiliate link below the video. If you guys want to do leverage trading or shorting, BigGet is the place to be, and it would be a great way to support the channel if you use the link below. Especially because I'm hardly ever doing promo videos these days, just because it's just, I'm being very, very, very picky and selective about which projects to talk about on my channel. So that would be a great way to support the channel, is by using that link. But and speaking of supporting the channel, big thank you as well to Swapsicle. If you're looking for DEX to swap with, to farm with, go check out Swapsicle. If you're still using Trader Joe, guys, make the switch. Just get rid of the link to Trader Joe and use Swapsicle. It's less expensive and just a far superior product and team. All right, guys. So yeah, big thank you to Swapsicle for supporting our channel as well. But back to Ethereum. So how am I going to play this? Look, guys, I'm just looking here. We can even see in the 4 hour. I mean, it's just clear as day. We're kind of over that important 1720 to mark. I mean, that mark is just so big. I've been talking about 1720 for weeks because it's just such a big level. And we're over it again, barely, but we've been over it for a few of these 4 hour candles now, right? We even wicked up as high as 1747. So technically, as long as we're over that, or don't wick, or even if we wick below it for a little bit on a time frame like the 4 hour, it's fine. Just technically, especially with the merge coming up, especially with the fact that we saw so much happen with Bitcoin the last few days. We'll talk about that in a second. My 2 cents, again, not a financial advisor, just telling you guys what I'm doing. I mean, just look left here at my screen for a second. I think I'm share screen. Yeah, I am. Just look at the screen real quick. I mean, just look left here. There's just nothing here. From here, some resistance here, but I mean, really all the way to 1950, 1958-ish. I mean, there's just nothing there, guys. There is nothing there. And in my opinion, that's just a beautiful spot to see a big run in Ethereum. It kind of makes sense, right? So the technicals are definitely in line with the fundamentals, right? Fundamentals are telling us the merge is coming. Historically, we know that should create some FOMO in the next 4 days to come. So, I mean, you got to just think. So I opened up a big long on BigGet with some leverage. It's 60K long, so it's a pretty big one. And I'm going to hopefully write that all the way up here, and maybe as high as 2029 to 2030. I think we could definitely see a double top scenario. I'm hoping we see a double top scenario. And that's what I'm going to be expecting the next few days. Now, is it kind of weird that Bitcoin made the run that it did yesterday, and that Ethereum did not? I mean, not really, right? Not for sure. If you think about prior runs, especially like in prior years, first you would see big, even in a bear market, during one of these kind of bull kind of runs within the context of a bear market. First you see Bitcoin run, then Ethereum runs, then like Litecoin would run, and then all the smaller alts, right, would run, and then after that the meme coins would run. So maybe we'll see something like that in the next days to come in a very kind of small, compressed time frame and fashion. So that would make a lot of sense to me. We do see here right now that Bitcoin is under a lot of pressure in the 4 hour. Definitely overbought. Looking at that right here, it's definitely overbought in the 4 hour. Let's see what it looks like in the 1 day. 1 day doesn't look so bad, right? Because the previous days were so bad. So the 1 day doesn't look so bad. So what that tells me is that we're definitely going to see some sideways action this weekend. Maybe even see it dump down a little bit. Would not surprise me at all to see Bitcoin dump down just a tad this weekend. To what? I mean, we could dump down quite a bit and still be fine. I mean, we could definitely dip down quite a bit and still be fine. A dip as low as 20,556, it looks like, and we would still be okay. So that would actually maybe even create a scenario where Ethereum kind of drops a little bit in the next day or so, before what I think is going to happen, and what technically and fundamentally makes sense, that it's going to go on a decent run. So we will see. I'm kind of curious to see if Ethereum is over. Where is it on the 1 day? You see, it's fine, absolutely fine, guys. So I am expecting big things out of Ethereum in the days to come. Looking at some of the other alts that we've been talking about. Well, before we do that, let's talk about DeFi real quick. Before we talk about some of the other alts, it's been another week of just MDB. Just it's all about MDB. It is now at an all-time high of 1.2 cents. Amazing that they're doing this in a bear market. So we will see where this goes. I think I've talked about MDB enough, but look, guys, this is an asset that is doing what it's doing in a bear market. So I cannot wait to see what it can do in a bull market. And let's see what the team can do, what they can do, because I feel like everyone in DeFi knows about MDB. Like, I feel like it's like, if you're in DeFi, you know about this project, right? They did a really good job of making sure that everyone knew about them there. But what about this? Pump it so you can short it to 12K. Yes, powers of 4. 12K is still definitely in the realm. We can talk about that in a second. It's definitely in the realm of possibility, no doubt. We can talk about this horrible macro in a second. But yeah, what is this asset going to do in a bull market? But what I want to see is what the team can do to get outside of DeFi, get more people, more market participants that are not in DeFi to look at this asset. Imagine they figure out a way to get those that are into like the metaverse and play to earn games and that sort of thing to look at this kind of asset. So the only way for this asset to do the things that we really wanted to do, and I'm talking really wanted to do, like see that market cap closer to like 100 mil, is to get out of the DeFi participants. So we will see what happens, but that's my ask to the team, is to kind of try to expand the market participant base. And everything else in DeFi has just been kind of hurting. I mean, wine kind of stabilized, which is good to see. Really good to see it stabilize. I know that the team's doing everything they can to kind of stabilize things. Again, great project, great team. It's just the macro has been killing them. And this graph still looks, it does look like we might be seeing a double bottom there. It really does. Keep your eye on wine, guys. That could be a double bottom. But if it's not, we're just going to see more follow through with that bear trend. So keep an eye on wine. If that double bottom confirms, that could be a nice spot. So keep an eye on wine. And yeah, I mean, I see, Astra's doing things with their partnerships. So they're trying to do things that will keep them okay long term. I know that Sphere is constantly building and trying to make sure that they're there long term. They have some big plans, but a lot of these projects like Serene Capital that have been hurt so bad during this bear market, all they have to do is just survive. And when the bull run comes again, liquidity hits the DeFi space again, they could run. So just don't forget about these. Walsh, W Share, same thing. They're all kind of like in the same mix where they've been kind of hurting, but if they can just survive this, they'll be okay. But back to what Powers of Four said. So yeah, let's talk about that real quick because it is important. Even though everything I'm saying sounds very, very bullish, I'm talking about a very, very compressed small time frame. Okay, very, very small and compressed. I'm talking about basically from here until May, the day before the merge. So that's why I keep showing you guys that countdown of the merge, because I want to be out of my positions. Maybe if I want to really play it safe, maybe like up to like, I mean, if you really want to play it safe, maybe 24 hours before that countdown is done. Because of the fact that, or maybe just play the technicals and just forget about everything. And if I see Ethereum run, which I think is a huge possibility, I'm not going to say it happens. And when applying TA, you're going to have wins, you're going to have losses. I had a loss yesterday after 2 wins. Every day there's L's, every day there's W's. But look, guys, statistically, fundamentally, this makes a lot of sense to me. It really does appear almost at, I'm on the wrong time frame, my bad. Around close to like 2000. Well, here, this actually gives us some more clarity. I should have used this one at the start. I mean, 2011, you can make a very, very strong argument for that. You really, really can. Or you can do kind of like a triple top here at 2023. You really, really can. So I am seeing something like that. I really, really am. I think that there's enough push to make that happen. And what we saw from Bitcoin just the last few days. I mean, Bitcoin has ran so hard. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that I will be getting out of that position around that time. If I see a triple top or a double top even to here, I will be very happy with my position. It'll be a huge win, and then I'll get out. But it's also going to be time dependent. But guys, if we get to this double top right here and we're still like 48 hours away from the merge, I don't care. I'm just going to get out of my position, take my profits, be happy, and move on to the next trade. That simple. I'm not going to get overzealous, greedy, and go and try to get more. Maybe there's more. I mean, this is obviously the biggest event in the history of crypto. So maybe there's more. Maybe out of nowhere, we'll see the biggest candle ever. I doubt it, but you never know. But if I miss out on that, I miss out on that. And if things don't pan out and I have a losing trade, then I have a losing trade. It is what it is. But I'm just telling you guys what you're going to do. But back to what Powers of Four said, it makes a lot of sense. It really does. The macro is still god awful. What's happening in Europe is really bad. I've been talking about for months that Powell in the U.S. were doing the right thing by raising rates before anybody else, and that's why the U.S. dollar is so much stronger than all the other currencies, because all the other countries, they did not put the halt on inflation. They did not put fighting the inflation bug first, and because of that, the U.S. dollar is stronger than all the other currencies right now. So now we're starting to see the other countries kind of starting to do that as well. But it almost feels like it's a little too late. So this macro situation is still pretty dire. I think it's only going to get worse. So yeah, like Powers of Four said on the chat, I do expect to see after this, I do expect more downside. How high can Bitcoin go? I was kind of charting it earlier. It's really hard to gauge, especially with all this FOMO, but it would not shock me at all. If we got as high as like 24K, 25K on a week, it's totally possible because this merge thing is such a big deal. But then I'd just be looking for spots to short again. And yeah, like Powers of Four said, if I think from we saw from that wick down the other day to what was it, 18,000, 100. I do feel like that 17.5 is going to be tested. That 17.5 support's not very strong. The strongest support I actually haven't memorized is 17,184. 17,184. And then if that support doesn't hold, then yeah, I mean, we can start talking about the 12Ks, 13Ks, 14Ks, all that stuff. But we'll take it one step at a time because I think this will take a lot of time. I don't think it's going to happen very, very quickly. Yep, exactly. What Powers of Four said is right. Take what you can, take profit, and yeah, it's rather be in profit than not, or nothing wrong to be in stables. I mean, I've been in stables most of this time anyways. All right, so let's talk about some of the other things. We've been talking about NearCom for what, 3 weeks now? We talked about it when it was in the threes. It hit the first target. Will it hit the second target? I don't know. Today's what, the 10th? So NearCom starts tomorrow. So this is about the time when you start seeing that kind of buy the rumor, sell the news thing play out. So I am no longer in Near. I did sell on my Near because it was just a swing trade based on the news. So maybe things get really exciting the first day of NearCom. They have a lot of big names there, and it pumps up to the top of our second target. Who knows? I'm happy with what we saw now, and I'm out of that. But again, a great example of why it's so important to try to be aware of events, because events can drive price. I mean, another example of that is EOS. EOS. what EOS is doing is amazing. It's rebranding, and it's going to be called Antelope. And this has created a lot of buzz, a lot of hype, and it's going very, very well for EOS. So how high can EOS go? I think that something that would make a lot of sense. Again, I keep forgetting to check the date of their actual rebranding, and I guess you would call it hard forking. I think is the right. Sorry, I'm not a dev guy. I'm just a trader. I think that $2.24 makes a lot of sense. So I just don't remember what the date is. It's either like the 21st or something like that, or the 18th. But I need to take a look on that, because I am definitely, if after that date comes or right before that date comes, this asset is around 224. I mean, this just seems like a really nice spot to short EOS. Like really, really nice spot to short EOS. And this is an asset that, mind you, not that long ago was at 81 cents. 81 cents, and this was what, June 18th. So just think about what this asset will do if Bitcoin starts dumping to 17K again after it's at 224. I mean, this is just one of those shorts that can just, oh man, with a little bit of leverage, it can pay so well. So I will definitely have EOS on my radar, looking to short it if it gets that high. Who knows? Maybe even it doesn't, but I want to do it in conjunction with those dates. Have I ever charted Metis? No, I have not. I know Metis very well. I think it's a very, very good long-term play. I've talked about Metis on the channel before, but I haven't charted it in a long time. I think it's been probably months. And the reason being is that I just felt that an asset like Metis is just going to get destroyed during this bear market. So, and I don't know where you can short Metis. I actually remember trying to see where I could short it like 2-3 months ago, and I couldn't find a place to short it. So, so I stopped charting it on a daily basis. But yes, I think Metis is an amazing long-term play, and it's going to be one of those plays that could provide 100x if the bear market crushes it enough and you get in anywhere close to the bottom. If you look at a long time horizon, maybe 2-3 years, yeah, those are your 100x's, are your Metis type plays. But you got to get in at the right time, because if you start DCAing now and it gets crushed a bunch, then instead of 100x, you're going to have like a 10x or 20x, which is still wonderful. But if you could just time it anywhere closer to the bottom, and I think, like you said earlier, 12K is a possibility. I do think that Metis will be a very, very nice 100x play. I mean, that's actually, I've been thinking about doing a video where I just can talk about those kinds of plays that I think if they get crushed a little more, if you see like another zero drop, you get the opportunity to 100x it if you hold in on long term. So yeah, Metis definitely one to consider. The tech is really strong. I mean, it's like Vitalik's mom, right? So you're going to have Vitalik support socially and maybe even like technically. It sounds like a good play. So yes, Metis is on my radar long term for sure. All right, guys. I also wanted to talk about DOT. We talked about 3 assets, right? We talked about DOT, we talked about XLM, and we talked about Cosmos, or what is it, Atom. All 3 of them had very similar structures about 3 days ago. They all looked very yummy, very, very yummy. Nice little snacks there. And 2 out of the 3 played out. So XLM, for whatever reason, did not play out as nice as DOT. Is DOT still looking good? I went ahead and got out of my position. I was happy with it. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with DOT now. It's very, very interesting because of the fact that we have the merge coming. I'm just kind of curious to see if ETH is just going to take a lot of that, or if assets like DOT are going to ride the coattails of Ethereum. So I don't know. To me, that's just a lot more riskier of a play there. But this right here does look like a nice little. This could be a very nice little bull flag forming. Wow. I might have to rethink that. DOT's actually looking like it's going to want to run again. Let's look at, yeah, that actually doesn't look bad at all. So I could be wrong. I could be wrong that DOT maybe just runs right alongside ETH. But if I have to pick ETH or a DOT or ETH or anything else right now, I'm just going to pick ETH just because of the merge. Even if maybe technically some of these assets look a little better, and that does look really good. I do think that I just feel better going stronger with ETH. I mean, they both look really good, but I mean, Ethereum just looks, to me, I mean, technically you can make an argument that DOT looks better, but no, you definitely can make that argument. But I just love with ETH, I just feel like that's where the big money's going to go, and we're looking for big moves in a very small time frame. But yeah, if DOT runs alongside with Ethereum or outperforms it, it wouldn't shock me, but it would definitely surprise me. It would actually surprise me quite a bit. All right, so what else did I want to cover today? We've already been talking for 20 minutes. Oh yeah, so we got DOT in here, and yeah, let's talk about Luna 2. This made my day pretty interesting, my evening pretty interesting. I was in it, got out, closed at a profit, then got in it again, closed at a profit. Then I took another position when it was pumping. It looked like it was going to stop pumping. So this is the 30-minute. Yeah, it was like on the 15-minute. It looked like it was going to start pumping there. So then I took another position and I got stopped out of it because it went all the way to 719. So I got stopped out of it when I was sleeping, actually. So I went to sleep and then woke up the morning and then got stopped out of that one. So really interesting, fun thing here, guys. This Luna 2, they're not even building here anymore. This is just whales with lots of money playing games. So there's opportunity here, but man, what this showed me right here, that in just let's see, it went from 583 all the way to 719, 720 in really no time. This is a 15-minute time frame, guys. So it did this in about 30 minutes. These things could just be so easily manipulated so quickly, and anything can happen. But yeah, if you can catch these wicks down here and short, then that is just a beautiful spot. So I would not consider a long on any of these assets, whether it's this one or Luna C or Loon C, I guess, or as your box calls it, Luna C. But I do think that this could present good spots to short. I went 2 out of 3 on it, so I'm happy with that. But if you see something like this again with a long wick like that, even on a time frame like 15 minutes, then yeah, once it's already kind of done this right here, wicked up, and then the next candle's already dropping, that's usually the best time to go in for a short. So if you are in front of the charts, which I am not going to be in front of the charts most of this weekend, that could present a nice opportunity. But other than that, I think that's about it. I was trying to think what else I wanted to cover. So yeah, so thanks for watching. For those of you that are on here on this impromptu kind of weekend review. Yeah, sorry, I just didn't have enough time to edit. So I thought, well, why not just go live and get it all done with? So, all right, guys, let me know if there's anything else that that we should cover on next week's episode. I'm trying to do these daily, very short ones, like 10 minutes. I figured that brings a lot more value, especially if I could do it at the start of the day, than just doing this once a week. So I will try to do one every day when I'm not traveling. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care.